Good morning. Today is Monday, March 24th. This is Wake Up with KERA News, and I'm Andrew Garcia. Spring has sprung, and it's showing pretty clearly with the weather lately. Today we'll see sunny, mostly clear skies with temperatures rising into the upper 70s. Fort Worth police were assigned to investigate a series of deaths in Tarrant County Jail custody, but never actually investigated. The state says there are no consequences for that. We'll hear more about why after the news. Speaking of the seasons changing, Texas will likely see warmer than average temperatures this spring. That's according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's latest seasonal outlook. It's also forecasting a developing drought for North Texas in the coming months. Texas, along with much of the West, is expected to receive below average precipitation over the next 3 months. There are 5 finalists looking to become the next Dallas police chief. City officials announced the candidate names on Friday. Interim Police Chief Michael Igoe and Assistant Chief Katrina Shedd are on the list, along with a retired FBI Assistant Director and the current Police Chief of Carrollton. A final decision is slated for the second week of April. Fort Worth police were assigned to investigate more than 25 deaths in the Tarrant County Jail in recent years. Those investigations never happened, and the state says there are no consequences. Experts say independent investigations are critical to make sure every death behind bars gets a transparent, accurate, and trustworthy look. And as KERA's Miranda Suarez reports, they also help families get answers about their loved ones' deaths.
Mallory Yancey is scrolling through her phone, looking at photos and videos of her brother Mason.
Oh, this is also what he always did.
That's Mason singing in the car. Mallory says he used to have these concerts on Snapchat all the time. Mason was booked into the Tarrant County Jail for a drug charge on Christmas Eve last year. He died in the jail 3 days later. He was 31 years old, and his cause of death is still pending an autopsy. In February, Mallory said she didn't know who, if anyone, was investigating her brother's death.
The lack of transparency is devastating. I mean, it's just devastating because you're already grieving, and then you want answers, and you want to know why, and then you want to know how, and it's just radio silence.
Under state law, every death in jail is supposed to get an independent investigation from an outside law enforcement agency. For years, the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office assigned death investigations to Fort Worth police, but the police say they never actually investigated. Records obtained in a public records request show police reviewed and approved the sheriff's own internal investigations, sometimes months or even years after a death. The Tarrant County Sheriff's Office denies it has broken the law. The state's jail watchdog agency says there are no punishments coming because of an apparent loophole.
I could write a strongly worded letter to Fort Worth PD, perhaps, but there's no repercussions. There's no penalty outlined in statute for an appointed agency if they do not conduct that outside investigation.
That's Brandon Wood, the head of the Texas Commission on Jail Standards. The way the system works, a sheriff's office can pick who does their independent death investigations. Wood says unless the sheriff's office explicitly told Fort Worth police don't investigate, there's nothing he can do.
I've not been told that ever occurred.
UT Austin criminal justice expert Michelle Deitch says there is no loophole in the law. The state is just misinterpreting it. She helped craft the bill that made third-party investigations a requirement, and she says Wood's jail commission is supposed to be the one choosing who investigates jail deaths, not sheriff's offices.
If an agency is picking who's going to investigate them, that's no more trustworthy than investigating themselves.
So who is investigating Mason Yancey's death? The Collin County Sheriff's Office confirmed that it took on Mason's case and 2 others previously assigned to Fort Worth police in February. That means they were assigned Mason's death a month and a half after he died. Another one of those deaths 7 months later. Ideally, an independent death investigation starts right away. That's according to Paul Parker, a death investigator and former head of a sheriff's oversight board in San Diego, California.
When you're not there initially, you oftentimes will get a very, very sanitized version. And quite frankly, when you're not there, then you come in afterwards, you're always looked at as not really belonging there.
In a statement, Collin County said its investigations would be separate and independent from Tarrant County. In the legislature, Fort Worth State Rep Nicole Collier has filed a bill that would make sure the jail commission is the one picking out investigating agencies. Mallory Yancey says she's ready to fight to close what she calls the massive loophole in the law.
At the end of the day, the only thing in my brain that's keeping me from wanting to blow things up is we can't think he died for no reason.
In the meantime, Mallory says her family has ordered an independent autopsy for Mason because they don't trust Tarrant County.
That was KERA's Miranda Suarez reporting. That story was produced in collaboration with Emily Wolf of the Fort Worth Report. March Madness started last week, and Texas teams had mixed results over the weekend. In the second round, Texas Tech won against Drake University, 77-64, to reach the Sweet 16. And the Texas A&M Aggies lost to the Michigan Wolverines, 91-79. Grammy-winning musicians, the Parker String Quartet, will be performing tonight at the Van Cliburn Concert Hall. The concert is free and open to the public. For more information and some other fun things to do, visit kera.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. The show is produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. That is where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter and get some good morning vibes from our colleague Catherine Hobbs. You can also connect with us on, say, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We're at KERATX. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.